Here is Chris Van Hollen, hopefully
hopeful
next Senate leader.
Senate leader. Oh my goodness. I mean, it seems like it's possible. We'll see.
But here he is speaking to the idea that we're engaging this. And again, this has been going on for months. I don't know why it took this one piece. And it's clear that, like, I think there's a sense that there is other constituencies, whether it's in the military or in the Senate, to get rid of Pete Hegseth. And so anything that focuses this on a decision that Pete Hegseth made makes it, I think, more inviting and attractive for these politicians to jump on.
Not to the Constitution of the United States.
So let me ask you about that Washington Post report on the attack on that Venezuelan alleged drug boat. What do you make of what happened there? Do you think there was a war crime committed?
Oh, I think it's very possible there was a war crime committed. Of course, for it to be a war crime, you have to accept the Trump administration's whole construct here.
That we're at war.
Which is we're in armed conflict at war with the drug gangs. Of course, they've never presented the public with the information they've got here. But it could be worse than that, right? If that theory is wrong, then it's plain murder.
The first strike is murder in that case.
That's correct.
You're alleging.
That's correct. Well, I'm saying that it's either murder from the first strike if their whole theory is wrong, and I think the weight of the legal opinion here is that they've concocted this ridiculous legal theory. But even if you accept their legal theory, that it is a war crime, and so I do believe that the Secretary of Defense should be held accountable for giving those kind of orders.
And this is happening as, of course, you have the Secretary of Defense also.
When the Democrats take the House, and if they take the Senate in the fall, I think you're going to see a mass exodus of a lot of these people because they're going to be afraid. But this is the type of thing, incidentally, where the video that was put out by those 7 Democratic lawmakers, as much as it's a little cringe in my mind just because of the nature of it. But it resonates because that SEAL Team 6 guy, I don't know what information he needed other than what he had to know that what he was doing was a war crime. Like the idea that those people in that boat were represented an imminent threat to the United States in and of themselves is obviously a joke, but that they're part of a larger network of small passenger boats that represent an imminent threat to the United States is also a complete joke. It's a tiny, tiny Navy.
The same SEAL Team 6, by the way, who murdered those 3 fishermen in North Korea under the last Trump administration, if you remember.
Right.
Cowboys.
They're trying to create a pretext basically for all-out war with Venezuela, or at the very least, they were trying. Trump's version of like diplomacy is punching them in the mouth. He probably feels like, and then they'll come to the table. And if they don't, then they'll use that as a pretext. But they're just like much, they're lazy about it too. They don't, and they're incompetent. So they're not able to create a pretext in a way that, I don't know, justifies the gravity of the action they're trying to take. And the administration is deeply unpopular, and it runs counter to what he was trying to say about being anti-war.
It's all, I mean, it's all a crap show. And, again, he spoke to Maduro, I guess at the end of last week or at one point last week, to talk about potential talks. Meanwhile, they're floating the idea that there's going to be a ground invasion of Venezuela. I mean, it just seems highly unlikely to me, but it's hard to know where they will stop. And really, like, who in the administration is this excited about this? Because it's very hard for me to imagine that Donald Trump is this keyed into it. Although, I mean, he pushed Guaido quite a bit last time, and he's certainly oriented towards oil and whatnot. But this seems very aggressive for a guy who feels like they're teetering on the edge of having any awareness of what's going on in their administration. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.